Okay, I'm gonna get it this time, I swear. Yeah, you gotta give me a second. The franchise my group and I would like to bring to Mount Pleasant is Dunkin' Donuts. How many of you have had Dunkin' Donuts before? Okay. Our agenda today is we are going to be talking about the history of Dunkin' Donuts, how to be an employee, and how to be an employer. We are going to talk about the competition, which is Starbucks and Big B's, our franchise fees, and why you should bring Dunkin' Donuts to Mount Pleasant.
My name's Cole.
My name's Tyler.
I'm Milo.
And I'm Meg, and I'm going to be talking about the history of Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts is obviously a donut shop, which sells multiple types of donuts. It also sells multiple types of coffee and any flavor, mochas, lattes, culottes. It was first opened up in 1948, but it was called Open Kettle. It was then called Dunkin' Donuts in 1950. Its first location was in Quincy, Massachusetts, and the first owner was William Rosenberg. That is the history of Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, I'm going to be talking about the training that the employees have to do in order to be considered for the job. The first thing that they have to do in training is that they have to watch around 50 videos. These videos include how to make certain drinks, the prices of the products, and also how to clean dishes. The videos may also include anything that is a necessity for being an employee at Dunkin' Donuts. After they watch these videos, they must take a small test and get an 80% or higher to pass. If someone fails, then the boss may or may not allow the person to retake it. After all of this is complete, a week of hand-on training is required. They will learn how to serve and how to work the cash register. The boss gets to decide whether or not to hire. If they decide to keep you, then you have to take a quiz on all the drinks. To memorize them, and you need to pass that quiz.
Just press the next slide. Next, the training process. If you want to own a Dunkin' Donuts to start a franchise of your own, first you have to fill out an application. And after your application is reviewed by Dunkin' Donuts, the franchise team will contact you and let you know if they approve. Then you have to provide proof of assets and get a credit check and initial financial review completed. Then you must submit a business plan after the initial screening is complete and meet with a franchise manager. After that, you'll have a financial review where they'll do a background check and then present your business plan to the franchise manager. After that, the financial review is completed based on business plan, and if all the criteria are met, you'll receive your franchise approval. Once you receive your franchise approval, you have to sign your store development agreement, and if it's received, begin franchise training. After that, you submit a site for approval and secure franchise financing, and then finally the grand opening.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about the competitors that Dunkin' Donuts would have here in Mount Pleasant. So the first competitor would be Big B Coffee. Big B Coffee is a coffee and pastry shop based out of Lansing, Michigan. They have 124 locations spanning throughout the United States, but mainly in the Midwest. Due to their small locations, they have higher prices than Dunkin' Donuts, but they are from Michigan, so they do pose significant competition.
Our other competitor, Starbucks, was founded in March of 1971 and has 27,339 retail locations worldwide. They offer breakfast foods like Dunkin' Donuts, however coffee is their specialty, and their food is kept frozen on display. After a large facility far away cooks the food, they freeze it and seal it in plastic containers for transport, while Dunkin' Donuts makes their food fresh.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about the financial aspects of Dunkin' Donuts. To start up with your own Dunkin' Donuts, you have to have $250,000 in liquid assets, or that is assets that can be easily converted to cash to purchase things like inventory and other expenses. You also need to have $500,000 net worth, which comparatively to other franchises, that's pretty low. Most of them have a net worth requirement of upwards of $1 million. The startup cost is $100,000 to $400,000 depending on the size of the venue and the location. So why Dunkin' Donuts is number one? Dunkin' Donuts has an average income of $124,000 a year, which is compared to $60,000 of other franchises across the board. So that's roughly 50% higher than other franchises. I know it says 70%, sorry about the mix-up. They were also ranked #1 in coffee and baked goods by Entrepreneur Magazine. So if you just recap what we went over today, went over who Dunkin' Donuts was, a brief history, went over the strengths of the training opportunities that are provided, and we also went over how much more money you can make by opening a Dunkin' Donuts compared to another franchise. Those 3 topics were covered by my teammates.